If I told you you could be happier, healthier, and smarter, would you be interested in what I had to share? That is the power of music. Music is all of those things and more. So some of the health benefits of music, they're discovering, and it's really only been within the last decade, maybe 2 decades at the very most, it's actually quite new, that they're using music for healing and for therapy in the hospitals. So it aids in healing, it speeds up the process, and it also gives them another tool to use. It also reduces suffering. So for instance, if you use music, you can reduce the amount of pain medicine that you need. It can also speed up the healing process so that it doesn't take as long. It also restores life, which to me is one of the most exciting things, because some people as they get older, and we've all known people like that, they lose those mental capacities. They can't remember you. They can't remember what they just said to you. Often they lose that ability to even communicate. So music aids in healing. One of the ways you're using that is for patients who have Parkinson's to improve the way they walk. Also for stroke patients, to music, because of the natural rhythm that music has, that you're able to then use it to simulate or stimulate the ability to walk faster, to walk more naturally. This is an example of someone who is a stroke patient in Texas, and so we're going to watch how they use music therapy. So notice that they're holding onto her, but music is helping her maintain a steady pace. So now walking without help, but still using that same musical pattern. Okay, so that will end that with that. Okay, so very exciting, making great strides, as you can see. And so music is also being used for addiction recovery. So, and this is being used not only around the United States, but in other countries. And it's a group therapy. In one example that I've seen is in order to be in this group therapy, you have to participate. So if you don't want to participate, you can't be in it. And there's great things that are happening. So they're trying to replace that addictive behavior and that addictive personality, the old them, with something new. And it's being really well used and well received. They're learning to play together to create something musically, and also many of them are learning to play a new instrument. So music and memory, which is the one that I alluded to earlier, is the thing that I thought to me is the most exciting. You notice that he's wearing a headset, and he's got an iPod, and they're using music to reconnect you to your past and to bring out you so you can be part of your family again. This is Henry. Henry is what they called is having an awakening. He had been in the nursing home for 10 years, and he could not communicate with his family. It was almost as if he was not alive. He was, couldn't answer questions. It seemed like he was pretty much dead inside. His family, so sad, they would come and he wouldn't be able to talk to them, and they'd ask him questions, he didn't even know who they were. And Henry had loved music his whole life. And so what they did is they chose religious music for him because that was the music that he loved. And he often sang, that their children remember him singing with them. And as soon as they put the music on, his eyes opened wide, and they called that an awakening. And he began to rock back and forth, and he began to move his arms. And anyway, after he listened for a while, they took the headphones off, and then they asked him some yes and no questions. And he was able to answer them. For instance, they asked him, "Do you like music?" "Yes." He said, "Yes, I like music." And they asked him some other yes and no questions. Then they began to ask him some questions that were a little bit more difficult. And they asked him questions like, who is your favorite performer? And he said, "Oh, Cab Calloway. Cab Calloway was my guy." And then they asked him, what was your favorite song? And he was able to tell it to him. Not only did he tell it to him, but he started singing it. It was really exciting. He is on a documentary that's exciting to watch. So we also, then, music is part of education. And there's some great benefits because of education. They used to think that your brain had one center for music. And they didn't know where it was, but they figured it was all in one place. Because of functional magnetic resonance imaging, they now know that there are many places that your brain is dealing with music. You have melody in one part of your brain, you have rhythm in another part of your brain, and those goosebumps that you get when something really touches you, there's an emotional connection that's in another part of the brain. Here is a picture of your brain on music. This is from the functional magnetic resonance imaging, the fMRI machine, that shows this is the brain of somebody who is engaged in making music right now, and see how much their brain is firing. Very important that as we have our children and as we think about education, that we include music in our education, because if your brain is talking from the left hemisphere to the right hemisphere and back, you're going to be a better student naturally. And then you add that group experience and your social skills improve. Music has great benefits. We're going to highlight some. So speech, math, your fine motor skills, listening, social, emotional, reading, attention, cognition, reasoning, memory, and the best one, saved for last, your IQ can actually be raised. Music changes the brain. It actually makes part of your brain bigger and more plastic. Plasticity, not plastic. Music for life. Do it for you every day. Sing in the shower, sing with the radio, play a musical instrument, or learn to play. Do it for them. Sing to your babies. Give them an opportunity to have music lessons. Enjoy music as a family. Experience music every day. That's my challenge. Thank you.